Joining me on the news track tonight, Arun Nehru, Member of Parliament of the DMK, Apsara Reddy, representing the AIADMK, and Jyoti Mani, Karur MP is joining us. Let me go to Jyoti Mani first. You have been on ground for the last 2 days. There are several questions being raised regarding lapses in crowd management and event planning that perhaps allowed this unfortunate tragedy to unfold. Do you see this as a failure of protocols and, of course, of politicians in general who think that they can get away because they want huge crowds at their public rallies?
I think hopefully nobody will get away this time because Tamil Nadu government has formed the one-member committee. Uh, Madam has came yesterday. She started the inquiry. But what I would like to say here is actually, see, what unfolding in front of our eyes is it's a very big tragedy. We're completely devastated. This now death toll rise to 41. So almost all the people are coming from a very poor background. Uh, Lost someone actually who completely depend on them for now and the rest of their life. So it's very, it's beyond words to explain our grief. It will take a long time for the not only the families who lost their loved ones and who are hospitalized, the entire society, Karur society, it will take long time for us to come over this tragedy because we are closely knitted society. So what I'm trying to say is this entire campaign has planned in a completely different way. For example, choosing a day, Saturday. Saturday has very different day in Karur than other places. We are the fourth export textile city. We generally load and transport our goods on Saturday. Even very small, narrow streets, there will be vehicles standing and loading the goods and leaving from that place. Then that is also salary day. So 50,000 people who works in the textile units will take their salary, has to come out in the same time. So first of all, planning the thing because they have planned for Saturday like a schedule. So they don't think Karur will not fit into Saturday first thing. Second thing, see every city has its own different kind of geography and space. See, like city like Tiruchi, Madurai, and all, they have a very big cities. They have a very big space. There are so many roads you can go and get out of the city. But Karur is a very small city. It's a packed city. So maybe we are using going and coming back to the city is the same road. So in that place, people being made to wait without water, without space, without proper air for almost 8 hours. Can you imagine the
You are
crisis
pointing
there?
out a very important and critical aspect, that the rally was perhaps planned on a wrong day because that's a payday in Karur, and you are a member of parliament from Karur. Jyoti Mani, how do you look at these allegations of negligence on the part of TVK and actor Vijay himself? Because reports are suggesting that TVK had asked the lights to be switched off during the rally. He left the spot without even extending sympathy and basic empathy to the families of these victims. And now his party has approached the Madras High Court demanding CBI probe. Is that the way forward? Let there be a CBI inquiry.
See, the CBI probe is completely a political stunt in my view. Already there is a one-member committee. The committee has been this judge is not new to committees. They have given a Thuthukudi shootout report also. So why there is already inquiry has been ordered? Why there is need for CBI inquiry? I don't understand. First of all, this is politicizing issue. See, I don't want to politicize the issue because my people are at loss. We lost lives. Actually, as a society, we couldn't comprehend what we are going through. But what actually literally pained me is actually people are doing politics over my people's dead body. So that's what made me very aggrieved, and I feel very, how do you say, I'm very feel very bad what's happening. What happened to us is something which we are going through. What happening after that also, actually we are very painful to see these things. See, it's very simple thing I'm saying. See, when crowd are so much, then you are a political person or even from police side. So we should, our first priority should be the safety of the people. Maybe you can cancel the rally. Maybe you can do an alternate arrangement. You may stop the car outside. There are many things. Even it's happened, nobody come to the intention of killing people. So that is completely nonsense theories and social media saying. So at least some party people are dying. The basic thing is to stand with them, right?
Yes. Yes.
So
Do
if you're
you?
not standing with them, then going and asking a CBI inquiry is not correct. You know how CBI is. See, ED being used against all the opposition parties. This in this BJP government, whether ED or CPI or income tax, all used as a political tools. I don't want yet another political tool deployed on my people, on my place, on our laws.
Okay.
That's what all I can say. That is
Jyotimani, do
very, very
you see
unfair.
this as some kind of also the political class failing to realize that, it's all right to have that kind of visibility of crowds because you want to showcase that rallies are drawing huge crowds. But it's coming at a cost. In the run-up to elections in the state that's scheduled for next year, do you think there is a need for the political class to come together and rethink, ensure that public safety is prioritized over crowds' number?
See, I don't want to endorse what you're describing about the actor's intention, which I am not sure. I also do not want to have personally criticize anybody for what happened. See, my simple point is that whatever your intention may be good or may not be good, which I have no public absolutely no idea because I never met him. I never had an interaction with any of his party members. But my simple thing is whether it's a police, whether it is administration, whether it's a political party, they should think people safety and dignity first.
Okay.
See,
Okay.
when things are out of first as a country, we need to yes frame a very clear rules and regulation and will ensure it's implemented, it's not floated.
All right. Jyotimani, appreciate your time. Thank you for joining.
Ma'am, first of all, good evening. Again, I don't subscribe to the idea of just framing who's accused, who's not so accused. I wanted to address this tragedy very objectively, right, for two reasons. One is an event like this shouldn't happen, first of all. Second is that if you start name calling, then the actual victims of this tragedy will actually be forgotten. We don't want to forget that this tragedy is for a number of reasons has to be handled very objectively and very straightforward. And I will also, thank CM sir who actually visited Karur within 6 hours of this event of this tragic event taking place. Now, if if everybody wants to name names and forge whatever information that they have half baked, well, I was there along with Karur MP Ms. Jodhimani, along with Mr. Sendil Balaji, with Deputy CM and the entire the infrastructure, the government infrastructure, was there at Karur. We could see firsthand the damage, the lasting damage that this has done. Now we can all go back and understand the reasons of why this had happened. Now let's be very clear that an event like this shouldn't ever happen again. And that's why I stand with CM Sir when he has called an all-party meeting, an objective meeting to frame the rules, where he is taking, he's calling upon everybody involved. So if in case he didn't call, any of the parties involved, then it's understood. I mean, you might have a, reason to doubt if this is genuine, but he has really taken up the issue to ensure that this doesn't happen.
Yes.
So it doesn't bode well to say one name did
Arun,
this.
that is for future. What about justice for those who lost their lives?
So
they are
exactly
also seeking justice. For them,
So
justice would be if your government also allows an independent inquiry. Actor Vijay has approached the Madras High Court. What is stopping you from allowing a CBI probe? Right to the center. Let there be a CBI investigation.
So let me again reiterate, madam. Law and order is a state subject, and
Yes.
Tamil Nadu has got one of the best police forces, and that's why they're having, guarding the most important installations. So I don't want to talk politics about CBI, and then I want to divert the topic here. And whatever arrest that has happened here is because those people who have called by the law enforcement didn't appear in the last 2 days, and hence I believe this arrest has taken place so that they can get to the bottom of the issue.
Okay.
But that being said, we should give everybody a chance involved. And this arrest is not political for any reason at all, because they have been called, given a chance for the last 2 days. I don't want to name any single party here, but absolute accountability is a must here, and that's
Okay.
where the action of the government has been.
Okay. Apsara Reddy, as a representative of AIADMK, what do you think is the priority right now? Of course, there are tears which have to be wiped out of those countless faces now, the several families destroyed. But Apsara Reddy, do you think that there is some kind of need for that political class to also realize that crowd control is a priority? And they have to also play a role in that.
Absolutely, Marya. It's lovely to be back on your show after a long time. And not just as the national spokesperson for AIDMK, but as a human being. I think what has played out in Karur is absolutely unfortunate. But the buck has to stop at the state government and the state police, because Vijay is fairly an untested commodity when it comes to the electoral fray, to organizing such rallies. He doesn't have the infrastructure or the state apparatus, be it AIDMK, DMK, BJP, or any other party has had considerable amount of experience than Vijay in putting the kind of protocols in place. Vijay, of course, is equally culpable, but then who is responsible for ensuring rules are followed and not flouted? It's the DMK government. I think they've failed miserably in kind of controlling that, especially if Vijay shows up 7 hours late or 5 hours late, as DMK spokespersons have been claiming on other channels. What were the police and intelligence apparatus doing? When you can fly in a chief minister or a Sendil Balaji or an Anbil Mahesh, to kind of turn up there in urgency and, show sudden humanity. What happened to the police department? They have reserve police in place. They have per square meter how many people are gathering at a certain venue, because they know that the width and length of the place which they've allotted them for the rally. None of the state apparatus has worked intelligently or efficiently, and I think it's a failure. It's a failure of the state government. I think Miss Jyoti Mani, a dear friend of mine, or the DMK person who's on this channel, can philosophize as much as they want about the deaths that have happened, but the buck has to stop with the DMK government. We have to get justice for the people who died on the spot. It's very nice to sound very intellectual on news channels, on primetime news channels, but what is the solution? The solution is that the DMK government should have protocols in place. They should have barricades in place. They should have medical personnel in place when crowds are swelling beyond a certain point, and Vijay has not been responsible enough to control his crowds, and he enters 7 hours late. What was the state police doing?
Absolutely, all valid questions there raised by Apsara Reddy. In a stretch of 2 kilometers, there are 30,000 people. Electricity is switched off by the organizers.
Marya, if you just allow me.
Yes, please, go ahead.
There have been huge tragedies in the state where people have died. There have been an air show which was mismanaged where people have died. There have been so many other incidents where a school was attacked, and I think in Kallakurchi, if I'm not wrong, I might correct me if I'm wrong. The education minister doesn't turn up there, or the chief minister doesn't turn up there when huge tragedies happen. But Karur is being a hotbed of political activity because there's a tainted former minister, Mr. Sendil Balaji, from there. It's very on a soft nerve for the DMK at the moment.
So you are also alleging some kind of conspiracy. Are you saying that Apsara
Nehru can interfere as much as he wants, but the court has called him a tainted minister? So I'm just quoting facts.
Okay, Apsara, then the question is that is there a conspiracy as is being alleged by actor Vijay here? But in that stretch of 2 kilometers, let me go back to that question, Arun Nehru. There are 30,000 people. Electricity is switched off. First of all, the protocol should be that women and children should not be allowed. Children in particular, there are toddlers who are there, and unfortunately 9 children have lost their lives. But Arun Nehru, here is the question. That in that stretch, how was that even allowed? First, it was a payday, knowing fully well that on such a day in Karur, there will be thousands of people on the street. How was it allowed in the first place?
Madam, let me answer, madam. Let me just get first to the basics. I don't want to answer to Madam Apsara's various questions of the previous years. I will stick to the topic here. Let's understand that as and when a rally is being organized by any political party, they will come up with a number of, number of estimate of the people who will attend the rally, right? And TVK in its letter had given 15,000 people, but the police estimated it to be 25,000 people. And they have deployed 500 policemen, which is actually in a highest density. And those are the guidelines issued by the Home Ministry. Now, when we, as the police gives those conditions to be followed, it's a political party rally. The government will give you the basic infrastructure, basic protection, provided you follow all the protocols in place. So there's absolutely no reason here where the government has actually failed in its duty to do. In fact, it's given the space, it's given the infrastructure, and the political space to open up here. So by blaming the government or the people or the police, it doesn't make any sense at all. In fact, I just want to point
No, but
out
who should be
1
blamed
week
them?
before.
Somebody has
No,
to
no,
be
1
held
week before. Let me
accountable.
finish. No, no,
Who will
let
be
me
held
finish. 1 week
responsible
before.
here?
Now, 1 week before, Mr. Edapadi Palaniswamy, the leader of the opposition, actually held a rally in the very same place. He was given the very same condition. So, Madam from the ADMK, is she telling that EPS didn't do a good job because they didn't have any more people there? Is that what I'm
Okay.
trying to do?
I have just
I
enough
hope it is
time.
wrong. But let me tell something. The government actually put in place. There
Marya,
is
you must give
so
me a
many
chance to
protocols that
rebut
are
for about
supposed to
30
be
Yes.
followed.
seconds.
So let's not get into the brickbatting of
Okay.
the issue
Okay,
at
just
hand is
enough
40
time
people.
for Apsara Reddy. You'll get the last word on the show, Apsara. Go ahead.
See, Mr. Edapadi Palaniswamy sir or Mr. Stalin sir or all these parties have a head start. They have multiple decades of experience of running rallies. Vijay doesn't. So when he flouts norms, whose responsibility is it? Vijay has a very young cadre. He's been having these rallies which where the kids are just climbing up, transformers, climbing up electrical poles. Police have witnessed that. State government has witnessed that. So what were the safety measures in place? DMK has failed.
I think that's the note on which this show should end. But perhaps, Arun Nehru, what is needed here is, as your Chief Minister has done, he has called an all-party meeting where all parties must come together to set certain protocol because they'll be the organizers in sync with the district administration. Arun Nehru and Apsara Reddy, really appreciate your time on the show tonight. We are putting out this entire discussion on the website and also on our YouTube channel. That's all from me. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching.